All right, welcome to the NOVI Lifestyle Podcast. My name is Jesse, and today we have three young, lovely ladies with us, starting with Crisia, Alexia, and Brianna. So I'm going to go ahead and give you guys the mic to go ahead and introduce y'all, starting with Brianna.
Hello, everyone. My name is Brianna, and I am the current Miss Quince Houston 2023. Hi, everyone. I'm Alexia, and I'm the current Miss Teen Model Latina 2024.
Hello, this is Krista Villapranca, and I am the Miss Modelo Latina Texas 2024.
Cool. Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you.
And I just want to start off. Asking y'all how y'all feel. I know two of y'all just recently got crowned. So first of all, how do you guys feel? Like still on the high of winning, or
a bit on the high of winning, but definitely getting used to the lifestyle.
Yeah,
it's very go, and I work full time, so it's a challenge to be in the mentality of work, then turn on your 3.0 and go do events, photo shoots, and stuff like that.
Yeah, for me, it still feels like a dream. Like, I haven't felt like, oh, I actually won. But yeah, I'm still used to getting to the lifestyle. She said, from going to school and then hurrying up, change, and you have to go either do a photo shoot, do something for practice or anything. So I'm still getting used to it.
And then Brianna, you've been crowned for how long?
Yes, I'm a little old.
No, I've been crowned since August, so I believe it's a good, like 5-6 months?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
So you might have a little different perspective.
Yeah, I have a little different perspective of it all, but it's still sometimes it still feels brand new and it feels surreal. But yeah, I mean, I gotten a little more used to all that. Like the rush that you guys are feeling right now, it definitely takes some taking used to.
We'll talk about a little bit about the process of that. But first, just want to ask you guys, how did you start off the journey of going into the pageant world? And, from the beginning of what was your expectations, probably before, becoming or starting off into Modelo Latina to where you're at right now?
Well, the beginning of my journey started quite literally a month and a half ago. Before that, I had no model experience whatsoever besides doing a few model boot camps. I signed up for 2, and that was to do runway fashion. And I loved it from there. And that was when I was 18, focused on school, got my license in property casualty, life and health. And then I turned 21 in February, and something about that was like, Krista, you're getting older. Just do what you want to do. Yeah. Follow your dreams, because the last thing I want to do is pass away with the regret of not doing what I wanted to do. So that's kind of how I started. And I mean, that was my first pageant ever.
Right. Okay. Mm-hmm. So you had 2 little boot camps of preparedness or getting prepared for that?
Yeah, 2 years ago. And but I quickly learned that fashion and runway fashion is completely different
than pageant.
Way different. So that was one of the things. And that was, 1 hour model boot camps for haute couture. I forgot their names, but they were for fashion designers.
I guess really quick, can you just describe what is the difference between runway and pageant?
Definitely. Even though I'm still learning, I'm learning from all of my pageant sisters. But one of the biggest things I think has to be the energy. Okay. In runway, you're wearing, the clothes are wearing you, versus in pageant, you're wearing the clothes. You have to pop out energy, charisma, attitude. And with runway, you're just a hanger. Right. So that was definitely different. Just being out there, enthusiastic and outgoing, the facial expressions. Yes. In runway, it's just serious.
Right.
And then in pageant, the first day, I noticed some of my pageant sisters, I'm like, oh, what is she doing? That looks amazing. But yeah, nice.
Well, for me, I've always been modeling, but it's never been a pageant. So I used to model 15 dresses, which is more like you're using a big poopy dress. Nobody's really watching your footsteps or the way one foot goes in front of the other.
Yeah.
So I had one practice with a team called Avidos and Modelo Latina. And actually, I saw that they were having a pageant, and I was like, oh, I actually kind of want to try it. I would just want to have the experience, because ever since I was little, I always wanted to do a pageant, but I was just scared to start. So I signed up, and literally the first practice, it felt so comfortable. But yeah, it was really different adjusting to it, because Giza dresses, you're more trying to sell the dress and the crowd. Right. So you're touching like your hair, you're playing with your dress. But
doing hand movement.
Yeah, a lot. And pageant, it's more like your fears, you're with more attitude, and it was definitely a change. The moves.
So my journey originally started back in July of 2023. I was introduced to the whole thing, though, when my close friend Cassandra won last year. But I didn't really join until July. And ever since then, I just really like started the whole like modeling stuff. I've never modeled in my life. I never did anything. I modeled once with a company with dresses, with 15 dresses, just like Alexia. But that was COVID time. So everything like shut down for me. So I got like my second chance almost with them. Yeah.
Well, so it seems like a common theme is, I mean, you don't have to necessarily have so much experience to start or, and then so the other thing I did want to point out is the agency is Modelo Latina.
Yeah.
I think it's US or USA.
Yes.
So how did, I know you probably talked a little bit about it, but how did the experience in Modelo Latina specifically impact you in from whether, I would say from the beginning of learning because I do know some of the things that they teach y'all is like como ser pasarela, how to be, proper
Choreography. It was
Yeah. So how was that experience, or how did it impact you? Starting with,
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it impacted me in so many unexplainable ways. I mean, from being mentally stronger and confident in myself, like you said, learning pasarela, runway, more specifically pageant. And I think my biggest and most positive improvement has to be my mentality, for sure. I struggled a lot with my own self-esteem and self-worth. And going into that, I almost didn't sign up because I said, no, what are you doing? You're 21 competing next to, younger girls with a lot more experience, stuff like that, and never modeled before. But Kimberly was like super nice right off the bat. And she goes, just do it. You don't need any experience. And I'm like, okay, well, it doesn't hurt to try. And here we are. So, I mean, most definitely self-confidence has to be the biggest impact it's done on me.
That's awesome.
I think for me is learning how to be more proper and my mentality as well, because coming in, I was a super shy person. Like I couldn't talk to anyone because I would get red or I'll start shaking, I'll start sweating. But they taught me a lot how to talk and like express myself and do it with passion and not just fake it, but actually do it still with passion. Yeah. And I think I was scared mostly about the interview, but
you mean the questions or what interview?
The interview with the judges.
Oh, yeah.
Where they put me in a room, and I was scared because it was a lot of judges, and I was like, I felt so little, but I think they prepared me enough mentally.
Right. I think they give a lot of the girls an opportunity to bring out whatever it is that they might have either insecurities about or something that they've never done. I know choreography, not all the girls have done choreography.
That day when you got out there and you're like, 1, 2, 3, and I'm like, this wasn't in the sheet. This wasn't in the sign-up sheet. I'm like, yeah.
But I mean, you did it, and
I did it.
I did it.
Yeah. So Modelo Latina has definitely taught me so many things, from how to better my communication skills to how to walk properly in heels, and the list goes on and on. But the most important thing that they've taught me and like has changed my whole experience really has been to put myself out there and like enjoy it the best way I can. Because like Alexia, I was so shy. I was very timid. I could not talk to anybody. Me a year ago would be terrified to be sitting here right now. It kills me to just think about that. But yeah, they definitely taught me how to improve my confidence with myself and, just relax and enjoy the stuff that I'm actually doing.
Yeah. And look at you now.
Yeah.
You even have your own like podcast type.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I just want to congratulate each and one of you.
Thank you.
From you like trying to decide if you should actually do it or not to actually doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, even like the first day, it wasn't the first day. I think it was like the second week. I had like a moment of doubt, but then I always referred back to some of the training that we did with, the emotional trainer that we had. That was, it was just like, breathe. It's okay. Like these are normal to have those, thoughts and doubts about yourself, but just, being uncomfortable is better than being comfortable because, when you're uncomfortable, you're doing something good for yourself. People are, what do they say?
Be comfortable and in comfort or something.
Yeah. And then people just like being comfortable. That's why they don't, do or step outside of their comfort zone.
Yeah. 100%. Well, I know we're talking about uncomfortness and you might have already spoke on a little bit about this, but what are some of the challenges that you guys faced, whether it was internally or maybe just, through the whole process of beginning to maybe even the day of, you guys were giving y'all's presentation or deciding who was going to get the crown. What are some of the challenges you guys faced and how did y'all overcome?
Yeah, I mean, for me, one of the biggest challenges, but that's always been a challenge throughout my life is comparing myself to others. Mm-hmm. I know that's always been one of my hardest and biggest weaknesses. So just being there at times, like some of my fellow pageant sisters, I mean, they rocked it. Even you, Alexia. I'm just staring at you guys and all like, how is she doing that? What are you doing? And I'm like, can you show me that, please? But comparing myself to others, but I overcame that by just telling myself, I mean, I'm me. This is my journey and I just have to make the most out of it. And if that means putting in the extra work, sweat, tears, it really did. It took a lot of sweat and tears after work and practicing. And then the other biggest challenge was, getting used to the pageant walk. Right. I did runway and that's all I knew. Yeah. So when I saw the pageant walk, I'm like, oh, okay. New challenge. I'm like, wow, that's new. Oh, twirls and saps and hips. Yeah. Because in runway, they're like, no hips. Yeah. Don't move your hips or, and I was like, okay, we have to pop out and show out the choreography. You got off there and I'm like, oh, wow. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and try this. And just the fast pace. Yeah. Just the, even with Oscar, this is going to be the choreography up on the stage, this and that. So just grasping everything and go.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that they try and incorporate, like just doing something different. Mm-hmm. Maybe some of the girls aren't used to choreography or just movement in general because choreography incorporates a lot of, sometimes you have to have different facials. Right. You have to move in a certain way where you've probably never moved because dancing is dancing, Right. You have to move the hips, you have to move the chest.
So I think dancing, is incorporated in our actual pageant walk also. I mean, we need movement. We need that charisma. And I think that dancing also plays a part. Yeah, the whole thing.
Because you can show in dancing,
right?
You hear the song, right?
Yeah,
and you're supposed to be able to show my personality and try and make that song pop out.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I think for me the biggest challenge was going on a stage and not feeling scared. Because for me, I was like, no, like what if I go on the stage and it's like one of the judges is not gonna like what I do, or like people in the crowd are not gonna like what I do. But the biggest challenge for me was getting comfortable on the stage because it's so different for me. You have all eyes on you. Yeah, all your eyes are on you, and I guess that I overcame it the night of the pageant. I was like, you know what, I'm here. Win or lose the crown, I want to take this experience. Yeah, so
I think that's experience too, right? Of the month that you have training, you're always on stage, and you probably don't have like a huge audience then, but you're on stage, you're still trying to perform. Mm-hmm. So it's a good experience to learn for the day.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. The recording. Like we're going to record you now. And
oh my gosh, yes.
I freeze. Oh no. Yeah. We just learned it 30 minutes ago.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, Jessie, why would you do this to us? I'm like, oh my goodness. Yeah.
That was really nerve-wracking. Your class scared me. I was not.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
You guys.
Well, you're a dancer.
Yeah. You have dance experience.
Yeah, I've seen it.
I mean, I dance at home, like in my shower.
But we're in the room.
That's experience.
Yeah. But no, I didn't have any experience with dancing or anything, so it was really new to me. But anyway, The biggest challenge for me would have to be feeling like I belonged in a place where, at the time when I was competing, there was a lot of girls that already had experience, a lot of girls who had really good walks, and they had it down. They had experience a lot more than I did. So feeling like I actually belonged and like I actually could do this was really hard for me to accept and actually like understand that I can do this. I'm capable of doing that and more. So yeah, that was definitely one of the biggest challenges at that, and actually fitting in. I felt like an outsider throughout my whole training.
I felt that way too.
Yeah, I feel like it's the timid girls that just there. Just like, anybody talk to me, please. Yeah, I didn't talk to a lot of people during training. I was really shy. That's when I was also like, like I said, I'm trying to fit in the best way that I could. I didn't know anybody, so it was really hard for me to like, fit in, I guess.
Right. I think that's also another common theme, that whether you don't have experience, but I mean, starting at whatever age you start at, right? I think you said you felt that
I was too.
21 was all of 21.
I know it's not that old, but for me, I'm like, a lot of girls do like pageants from 6 years old.
Right.
Yeah. And like toddlers and tiaras and they're, so forth, or just modeling. Like their moms would put them in model classes or just stuff like that. And for me, I'm like, I don't even know what I'm going to be doing.
I actually felt very similar to how you feel, because I was one of the older girls when I was competing. I was 17 at the time.
Right.
And, a lot of girls were, 15. They were 13. They were 12 years. I think the youngest was 12. It was 13, I think. But, that was nerve-wracking. I was like, I don't belong here. I'm so old. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh.
I definitely wasn't the oldest. I think there were a few older.
Yeah.
There were a few older.
But that feeling of like being the oldest.
Yeah,
I think you find that everywhere too, whether it's in dance or any kind of like artistic.
Right.
Like in dance, like I feel like I started late too,
Yeah.
But depending on how hard you work, you can even...
Yeah. It's like, and I think what made it harder for me to understand was that, I'm not too late to start.
Right.
Like, I'm starting at this time, but like, that's never too late to begin my journey.
Right. It's never too late for anyone.
Yeah.
I really think
it's never too late.
That's the story that needs to come across.
Yes.
It's never too late. Trust me. Yeah. Or no experience or experience. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
Yeah. Just jump out there.
Mm-hmm.
So now that you guys are crowned, what plan moving forward, or I guess, what plans do you guys have moving forward, with the crown, to be able to impact, whether that's your followers or anyone that supporters,
right?
What plans do you guys have moving forward?
I have a few plans. It's just about, of course, execution and time. Time is my biggest enemy right now. But my biggest plan that I want to do is really be involved with nonprofit organizations that work with kids that are very talented, creative, smart, intelligent, but have gone through some of the similar struggles that I have of, low self-esteem, confidence, boy or girls. Everybody goes through, I feel like those emotions and those mental health issues. And just being there, sharing my story and being like a guide and a support system for them and telling them, like, this isn't, it's hard to explain, because when you feel something and and you can kind of see when somebody else even feels those same emotions, but definitely spend my time with children and nonprofit organizations. I have a few in mind already that they bake, sew, cook, and have their own fashion shows with stuff that they make. And these kids are like 5 years old starting off until, I think it's grade 12. And also just, for my followers, I don't have many right now, but definitely follow me. Yes, supporters, fans. But, it's just about sharing my story, that where I came from to where I am now. And the growth from this organization is just, I'm just so grateful and beyond.
I think even just, I know you're going to do a lot more, but even just sharing your story is inspiring, because again, whether you felt like you were gonna do, sign up for Modelo Latina, that in itself is, very inspiring, because a lot of people might have that, not knowing if they should start whatever it is that they're trying to start.
Yeah. And, just impacting the Latino community already. I'm, doing that to my day-to-day work and career that I do now, but, also using my title as, more publicity to be able to help more families and what I do, which is help them protect and be responsible with, their finances and just properly protect themselves.
Yeah, I agree. I think financial literacy is something that
Yes.
isn't really taught.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think if you're able to do that at a younger age,
Yeah.
I don't know if you can incorporate it with
I think I'm a great example of
Yeah.
lack of knowledge.
I'm like, definitely check out my Instagram. That's what I want to do is just like you said, the Latino community, we're not taught to save up for, your kid's college. At least I didn't have a college savings. So I had to figure it out from scratch. I worked at Starbucks, worked my butt off so I can get the free education from there. And so that's what I want to change is not just our generation's wealth, but our future generations by incorporating some of the knowledge and, just things that I know.
Yeah, I think savings for whatever it is, whether it's college or
house, trade school, exactly, trade school. There's a lot of milestones in our life that, I feel like the Latino community, we're capable of so much more. And we just need somebody to
Take initiative.
take initiative and just share that knowledge.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of people gatekeep.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people gatekeep knowledge. I'm like, no, trust me, please ask me. Ask me anything. I'm here for you. I even tell it to my customers. I'm like, call me about anything. Even if I don't know, I'll try my best to help you.
Yeah, whether it's gatekeeping or I think just you might think that people just aren't interested in that kind of stuff.
Probably, yeah.
Well, for me, I want to impact young girls because for myself, I never ever would have thought I was going to accomplish a dream. That was probably being in a pageant or even modeling itself since I was 5 years old. I would keep telling myself I'll blow the little flowers and I'm the dandelions. Yeah. I hope one day I'll become a model. So yeah. So I think just impacting young girls to chase their dreams and not stop, no matter what milestone it comes to your life, even if it's good, if it's bad, if you can control it and you can't control it, to keep past that and know that only you can conquer your own dreams. Only you are the only person that matters in your mindset. You're the only person you have to make happy. And I feel like that for a lot of Latino women, it's hard because it's you have to live in a standard. It's you have to do this and this and this. And it's no, I like to step out of that comfort zone and prove to myself I can be the only one that's happy. So, yeah, they just impact young Latino women in that.
Mine's a little more sentimental. But since day one, I've always made it a goal to stay kind and to spread that kindness with everyone. I think that nowadays it's really hard to come across, people in general that are kind to you. Sometimes we are struggling through our own stuff and it's so hard to understand that other people are also going through their own stuff. And so we might give them an attitude or anything. But I really want to encourage everyone that, stay kind and true to yourself, whether that be, stepping out of your own comfort zone and being true, then, staying somewhere that you're going to pretend you're not.
Yes.
Someone you're not.
Yeah, I think the world needs a lot of parts of the world needs a little bit more kindness and
Caring attitudes between each other.
Yeah, and it breaks my heart. So I was just no, stop. I literally, this is so cliche to say, but world hunger, everybody just hold hands.
Definitely. I feel when they say we're looking at our life through our glasses. Yeah. And then I sometimes tell myself I'm driving in that traffic and I'm I wonder what she's thinking about next.
Oh my gosh, I did that. Oh my gosh, I was literally just thinking that on the way here.
Yes, exactly. But no, I agree with you. I feel it's, for me, my biggest spread of kindness has to be in the school system and the educational system. I felt even growing, once I became a senior in high school, I saw how mean some of the kids were to each other. And I'm why are you guys so mean? There's no, we're all
human at the end of the day. And I think that a lot of people forget that everybody has emotions. I'm a very sentimental person. I don't know if you guys could tell, but I'm so emotional. Like if anybody's rude to me, like I will start crying. Like, oh, it's really bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm still in high school, so I constantly see that, like not so much bullying, but that rude behavior with my peers. So it's really shocking and sad.
And just comments. It's not even like being to like, it could be a little comment that you don't know that can affect somebody.
Yeah.
And it could have a great effect, because a lot of my mental issues, like just being like low self-esteem, came from that. Just the constant of people telling you something. And then it's easier said than done to not let somebody's opinions about you not affect you.
Yeah.
It's way easier said than done. But I feel like for me, that was...
And I feel like confidence, goes to a certain extent with that.
Right.
You can be confident, but those words will hit you really bad if
You'll still go home and look at yourself in the mirror and think about those comments. And you're like, but no, like now this experience, Mother Latina, has changed that for sure. But I agree with you. Kindness is the key.
Yeah. No, I did want to say that I did say this in the beginning that I appreciate each and every one of y'all in sharing you guys' story and sharing how you guys view the world, because it's very inspiring. So I would say what would be a message that you would like to leave to, again, whether it's your supporters or anyone who might look up to you now that you guys have the crown. What is a message that you might want to tell them or leave them?
There would be so many messages.
I'm telling you, like I'm trying to pick one.
I couldn't pick one, but I think one of them, just from my experience and where I am now, I have failed so many times at so many things, whether it's my relationship with my family, school, whatever that, entitles to. But failure is a part of success. And I will say that success is not the key to happiness. But happiness is the key to success. And, truly loving yourself and being content with yourself is, I feel like to me, it has become the number one important thing. If you can be truly loving to yourself and love yourself for who you are, no matter what somebody has to say about you, I mean that. And it's hard. It's really, really hard. And I'm, like you said, easier said than done. But you slowly will start to unapologetically be yourself, and you'll see and appreciate yourself for who you are.
I do agree with that. And sometimes even when it comes to like business or even anything that you're working towards, I would say fail as fast as you can.
Yes.
So that you
can learn and get back up.
Yeah. And then I agree as well with happiness, success. Happiness is the key.
Failure is the best part of the journey, I think. Yes. You learn so much with failing. It's like the best part, I think.
Yeah, I'm like, at work.
Well, okay, not in the moment. Not in the moment. Right. It's not the best.
In the moment, you're like so sad. Like, I get hung up so many times, but guess what? I learn from what I said and perfect it. Yeah. And next time, guess what?
It just makes
Nobody's hanging up on me.
Well, I think for me, I feel like I've said it 1,000 times. Like I say it every day. I said it the day of the pageant on the stage. Just be you, honestly, because you are the only person that matters in your story. Yeah. There's gonna be so many chapters. Each chapter is gonna have, an extra character, but you're gonna be the main character in every chapter you are. So even if it's your life, it's just nothing unique. Yes. But I feel like as somebody who I tried to fit in with many people, as long as hard I tried to fit in, it was impossible because I wasn't happy there. So I was myself, and my life became so easy. It feels like a breeze because I'm not faking for somebody else, or like people are like, oh, why aren't you doing this? Because that's not me. So I think she's actually said that to me so many times already, and we've only been friends for a couple of months. Yeah, and she really does stand by that. She's so honest about that. But one thing that I want to share and inspire everyone with is to take initiative. I think that we're all capable of doing what we want, but taking initiative is, taking that extra step and showing everyone how hard you're working for what you want. I mean, initiative is more than just working hard. It's showing everyone that like I just said, you're working so much harder than what
it seems to be. But yeah, taking initiative is one of the most important things. I mean, whenever you do something, you know, give it your all. Don't just work hard, give it your absolute all, and, you know,
Do it with a purpose.
yeah, do it with a purpose.
Do every action with a purpose. And I'm telling you, it'll fall into place.
Yeah, I think a lot of whether it's, you know, girls trying to decide on what they should do.
Yeah.
A lot of people are on the edge of what they want to do. I think they're in like this, should I do what I want or should I do what maybe the world or my parents expect of me?
And I think all of our answers really combine with one another, because it's a matter of doing this for myself or for the world, and then, you know, doing it.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree. So again, thank you girls for, you know, coming and expressing y'all's, how the process, how has it been y'all's process of, you know, starting and getting the crown. So just really quick, if you want to just, you know, say, again, your name and maybe handles, if you guys have like I know you have another channel, whatever it is, you can say it to the camera.
Definitely. So again, my name is Krista Villafranca, and my Instagram is quite literally my first and last name. It's very hard to spell, but CHRISTA.VILLAFRANCA is my Instagram, and that's pretty much my main social that I try to focus on. You can find me on YouTube as well. I will be making more YouTube videos about definitely my experience and along the journey. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that happens, and it's crazy. So definitely some vlogs about all of the events, photo shoots, and stuff like that.
Well, my name is Alexia Chavez, and my Instagram is Alexia with a double A dot Chavez with a double Z. And I will be starting YouTube really soon. So, yeah. I know you can also find me on TikTok. It's the same as my Instagram username. And yeah, I think I post more on Instagram now.
Yeah. Well, once again, my name is Brianna Garcia. I'm the Miss Quinta Houston 2023. And you can find me on social media. I think on all platforms I'm the same. Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure. But it's BBRIANNA_.
Thank you again.
Thank you, Jess. Thank you. Thank you.